I think Steve, I sent you. Well, I sent you the video, et cetera, et cetera. So, if there is a specific possession that you want to rewind it
Nah,
over, I can
roll it.
call it out.
Roll it, baby. Let's
All
have
right,
some fun.
let's have some fun indeed. We will start first possession of the game for Philadelphia. It's going to end up being a Harden step back. We'll go full speed and then we'll go to half speed if you want to roll it again. Going to get an early screen from PJ Tucker to get Marcus Smart off of him. Jaylen Brown on James Harden, and that felt like a theme of this game, getting Jaylen Brown in action. We get another switch. Al Horford's in drop. That is going to be a step back bucket for James Harden. We'll just quickly note on that front, didn't end up mattering on this play, but PJ Tucker, since Boston's kind of zoning up here, PJ Tucker roaming the dunker spot area, getting out of the way of the Paul Reed roll. Wasn't really a window for him to get the pass. James Harden knocks down a shot anyway, but PJ Tucker just showcasing his ability to move off the ball and kind of make himself available.
I will say, if you run it back a couple steps, this is what Boston was looking for from the drop. And as we watch, you'll notice they couldn't hit these notes. So it's a good switch. Derek White fights over. Al Horford's keeping the ball in front. Derek White recovers. Marcus Smart's back. You've done your job. James Harden didn't care. And I feel like that was an important shot. His first possession of the game, sending a message, hey, I'm taking these tonight. Mm-hmm. These are going up. So, and that's why that mid-range is so important to him, because if you notice in that drive, he didn't have to go with the burst. He can kind of go with the half speed. He can kind of take what defense is giving him. And he does such a good job this year of accepting what the defense is giving him. So taking that space and saying, all right, cool, I'm going to come off. You're going to switch. I'm coming off here. I see Al. I see you. We're still good. I got a beat. Can I see the pocket? Nope, they're helping. PJ's not open. I'm still here. Let's go up. That is important wrinkle to throw in there for James.
Good stuff from James Harden. So second clip, we have about 10:40 left in the first quarter now. Boston with a 4-2 lead. Marcus Smart picking up James Harden at half. Early screen from Paul Reed. Really set a lot of high ball screens for James Harden to go. It's going to end up being some really good defense from Al Horford. Nice to see him make a play early in this one because it got a little ugly a little bit later. Steve, do you have anything there?
So if you bring that back, it's a very interesting point because Philly tried to go with the higher pick and roll early, and that's always been the counter for James, depending on what your defense is. So it's going to give him the space to get downhill. Now, this is good discipline from Al to stay back. So James has the space. He snakes it. Marcus Smart's still pursuing. You see where Paul Reed is. It's a long way to roll. So while there is a pocket, Paul's not there. The weak side is in. So as James keeps going, Marcus is recovered. James is going to that pocket, but you see where Al is. He can now recover, and now it's one-on-one. So the process was good, but that's kind of why Boston countered with Al being in that contained environment to be able to stay in front. Marcus Smart's ability to react and recover and navigate the screen makes it work. Because if Marcus Smart gets dinged here and doesn't fight back to recover, James could probably take another dribble and engage Al. But because Marcus Smart is fighting like head to recover, that gap is closed. And so now James is going to make the pass, which is a good pass, but what's open? Nothing. Boston's able to recover.
And Paul Reed did his darndest here, but again, really good contest. Good block shot from Al Horford there. One of the better plays that he made defensively in this game one. And now we roll to the next clip. 9:35 left in the first. Boston with a 6-4 lead. Going to get another James Harden bucket here. Again, an early step-up screen from Paul Reed. That is going to be Derek White on James Harden's hip. Al Horford in the drop. Just kind of waits, separates, creates some space, gets the bounce. That's good stuff from James Harden.
Now, this is one that Philadelphia should bookmark because you got a couple different concepts here. You have the super high pick and roll, but if you hold it as he's about to come off, that's what you'll notice in that left side. That left corner is empty. So, yes, that is PJ Tucker on the weak side, but that is only one person on the weak side. And so that means Jaylen Brown's help is only really going to be early. And if it's too deep, it's going to be open. So you see right there, there's no tag from Jaylen Brown. James Harden has a space, but again, great screen navigation from Derek White to keep on the hip. So James has the space to engage, but as he keeps going, if you'll notice, Derek White's still fighting. Al's still in front. Because Derek White is able to really get back, Al can kind of release. So Al never really had to commit to James. And so while the roll could have been open, they never really hit the right notes there.
There we go. And then we'll run this one more time in full speed before we move to the next one. Step up. Derek White going to fight over, get reattached. Solid contest from Derek White, just does not matter. James Harden again setting the tone early. And next clip, after a Boston bucket, did now lead 9-8. We're going to get another bucket from James Harden in this one. Again, I will note, look at where Paul Reed is setting the screen with Marcus Smart on him. At the logo. And then that little bump there detaches Marcus Smart from James Harden, so now he can fully engage Al Horford. That's just nasty. That's just nasty stuff.
That's a tough shot, and that's why you love him having that mid-range step back. But again, you can see Boston's concept. You guys got to navigate. Al's really supposed to contain. Again, you mentioned the bump to get the separation, but having this mid-range step back to be able to operate in this area without having to foul hunt or turbo button. I can now take this space. I can see what you're going to do, Al. Great recovery by Marcus Smart. And again, the effort from the Celtics smalls was great early.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that effort was matched with those shots. so if you look at the mid-ranges he's hit, it's not bad defense. You got to tip your cap. Unfortunately, when you're tipping the cap in the playoffs, it can lead to a long night.
And boy, did Boston have a long night in this one. And I think we're about to roll to the next clip now. So this is what, 7:44 left in the first. Philly with a 2-point lead here. Tobias Harris ran a pick and roll a little bit earlier in this possession. You can see him kind of releasing this pass here to Paul Reed. And now Philly flows into a pick and roll from there, late in the clock. Marcus Smart tries to force James Harden down the sideline. Nice angle flip from Paul Reed. That is also going to be a theme of this breakdown. Pretty good screening game for Paul Reed, in my opinion. Horford again in the drop. And James Harden is just feeling it right now.
And this is where if you give James Harden the amount of reads over and over again, he's going to start to have counters. So we've seen Boston do a good job of navigating. And now we see Marcus Smart's pointing, hey, I'm going to send it here. Paul Reed's like, cool, I'm going to flip my angle, my screen. Al Horford's in that deep drop. Now we've seen James engage and take the space and play. If Paul gets a hit, if you let it run, he's already loading up to go. So he's already knowing, okay, you're back there. This shot's here. Let me take that. So if you think about the shots he's taking, he's pretty much reading what the defense is giving him.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's operated the space to engage, see where the rolls are, get to his mid-range, and now I can get right to my pull-up. And that's where Boston has to, well, one, again, a great read by James Harden, and the shot making makes it even better. But that's where Boston has to tweak it and not give the automatics to where James has this level of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're fighting like heck, the fact that he can just load up if you let it run, as Marcus Smart is going and trying to hold it down, one dribble right to his pull-up.
Yep, right in rhythm. Only other thing that I would note here, if I can get it rewinded in the right spot, is that after the Tobias Harris pick and roll doesn't work, and again, it flows into a Harden Paul Reed pick and roll, PJ Tucker and Tobias Harris switching places, very subtle thing, just to get the spacing right, because you have Tyrese Maxey in this right corner. That means Derek White is not going to be able to comfortably show help here if James Harden does want to explore this drive fully. You're also going to have Tobias Harris one pass away. So as Paul Reed flips the angle, he's now rolling to this side. Jason Tatum is peeled in early. You're not going to get anything from Jaylen Brown here either. So if James Harden did want to hit the pocket here and let Paul Reed operate, that's a lot of room for him. But it would be more open just because you're not getting attacked here. But again, James Harden is showcasing the comfort against that drop, getting right into the pull-up. He's in rhythm early. And now we move. A little under 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Boston with a 3-point lead here. Going to get, again, an early high pick and roll. Nice.
Aha! But now we're going into let's try and see what the matchups look like.
Mm-hmm.
And now they got the switch. And now you bring Robert Williams to the action. And that's another good screen flip. He's got the space. And he hit him in the pocket. Now, the issue here is, and this is where you miss Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
If you're James Harden. This has been an automatic play for Harden and Embiid all year. One dribble against a drop. Let me get it to you on the short roll. You either keep going and finish, you can get to your mid-range. So he does a good job seeing the switch. Now they bring Robert Williams into the action. Daniels flips the angle of the screen. He's got a whole side to roll into. But if you see, Robert Williams right there in the drop, containing the penetration. If you let it run a little bit, the pocket's there. The problem is Jaylen Brown's early help from that elbow takes a little bit of the pressure off Robert Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And so as Harden keeps going, he can't necessarily engage Rob Will. He's going to that automatic pocket pass, but that's a roll right into Robert Williams. That's good defense for Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And that's conceptually what they wanted to get done. Let's hope you take this space. Let's contest whoever's rolling, and we'll live with the results. Let our help kind of build out around it.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is they couldn't hit those notes as much as they wanted.
And that's where you miss, again, to the Philly point, is where you miss the big fella. Jaylen being used as a screener. This is one of the questions I had about, when we had the trade deadline pod. It was like, I like Jalen McDaniels as a player. How is Philadelphia going to use him? Because I know that he's going to get gapped off the ball. Can they unlock him as a screener? And as you noted earlier, it was a good screen flip. He did the right thing. But now it's just Jalen McDaniels as a finisher in pick and roll versus Robert Williams. And no disrespect, that is something that Boston's going to feel very comfortable with.
Good shot by Zach on the discipline from Rob Will to stay down.
Mm-hmm.
You'd love to see it.
And now we move a little bit later. 4:11 left in the first. Boston up 5. We're going to get another James Harden bucket here.
Hey, man, hold on.
Grant Williams has checked in. Hello, friend.
Hold on. Hold on.
You here.
That's the first thing I saw. That man saw Grant Williams on the court and said, come here. Now, the funny part is Grant Williams, I feel like, actually switched his way into this.
Mm-hmm.
Because Boston was switching everything, and he really didn't have to pass that off to Jaylen Brown, but he did anyways. And the issue is, I don't think that James Harden respects Grant Williams. So if you see Tobias is looping, Jaylen switches. PJ goes right into a pick and roll. Grant Williams switches. I'm ready. I'm going to accept the challenge. Let's go. Hey, man. Fancy seeing you here. You here? Water's warm. What's up, buddy?
No,
bop, bop. Bop, 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 bop.
Slides pretty well, but
and this is where the step back mid range is so important for James Harden. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to hang too much on this play, but on these ISOs, and if you can hold it right as soon as he switches, this is where James used to go into, I'm lulling you to sleep. You have no idea what I'm about to do. Mm-hmm. You don't know if it's a step back. You don't know if I'm about to hit the turbo button and go right by you. You don't know what I'm doing next. The issue is the turbo is not quite the same. Mm-hmm. So he sets it up. He's lulling them, looking at the feet, trying to get the feet off balance. As soon as he does, he's gone. Grant Williams does a good job containing. The fact that he can take that contain and now use that to his advantage with that step back mid-range is huge for him in this phase of his career. Now it's like, okay, cool. I'm putting pressure on you. I don't have to go as far. If the turbo's not working, I can at least get enough space to get to this shot. Mm-hmm. And I can get to this when I want.
So here's the question that I have, and I ask earnestly here, because as I watch this switch come, and I look at the positioning of Grant Williams, he is very much funneling James Harden to his right head. And I think conceptually, forcing to his offhand, we got Jaylen Brown here, though Tobias Harris is a single shooter on the side, but let's force it to the offhand. Would it have made more sense to funnel him to that strong hand, considering Malcolm Brogdon's peeled in, Robert Williams isn't worried about it, and you got Marcus Smart as the immediate helper?
Yeah, I think it would have been made more sense to send him towards the help. Mm-hmm. I think he was engaged in the battle. Yeah, I was more thinking, yeah, man, I'm here. He was, as they say in the playoffs, embracing the challenge.
Mm-hmm. Embracing the challenge. About to embrace this step back bucket is what he's about to embrace. It's kind of tough. He did defend it pretty well, but just curious about that one. And we roll. Another high screen flip there from Jaylen McDaniels. Really good screen navigation from Marcus Smart. Gets right back into it. Nice spin and counter from Tobias Harris. So you're going to get an assist technically from James Harden. Anything you want to shout out here?
Honestly, if you go back, I kind of want to shout the screen navigation from Marcus Smart and why he's an insane person. Mm-hmm. And so this is a good counter because, again, Philadelphia's going to go and set this high screen. He's been working. He's already pointing and communicating. Hey, I'm sending it this way. Now, instead of fighting over, boop, I'm at the level. I spin. I'm still here. And what that does with his work and Grant Williams' work, Robert Williams can kind of release.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as Marcus Smart spins,
that man went full Dwight Freeney. You love to see it.
Now you can't snake back middle. You got to stay on this side. Grant's there. We're good. Now I put myself in a position to switch. Now on this switch, because Robert Williams is going to release because his services are no longer required.
Mm-hmm.
Jumps out, and this is just a good read by Tobias. Marcus Smart aggressive. Nope. I'm not going all the way out there. I'm spinning. And this is where having Jalen McDaniels kind of pop and be at the top changes Robert Williams' help angle. Mm-hmm. So you notice the low man is technically Malcolm Brogdon there. So Robert Williams is there helping, containing. As soon as he releases, he's now above the elbow. So it's similar to kind of what the Cavs and the Heat have tried to do with Mitchell Robinson, where, hey, maybe we're not a shooter, but you're out of the way to a degree. Mm-hmm. And Tobias goes, and there's no help. And that's where the Boston has to do a better job of keeping everything in front and making sure that they give themselves the best chance to contest these shots.
Mm-hmm. And just to bounce off of that front very quickly, I just don't think Robert Williams had to go back out there. Like, Jalen McDaniels is not a three-point shooting threat. He especially isn't one above the break. Like, I can understand the argument to cleanse, but I would rather him just kind of cleanse up here just to make sure nothing could happen, especially since Malcolm Brogdon is going to be pilling in off of PJ Tucker anyway. Like, I would have preferred that versus him basically leaving the paint altogether. Because Tobias Harris, as he spins away from Marcus Smart and the pressure there, he literally does not look up until this moment right here. And he's like, oh, wait, ain't nobody here. Robert Williams is still here. Like, he just runs into it. Or you're just able to just kind of kill this possession. They got to flow out of this with, I think, 13 on the shot clock if I can see this up top. But instead, that man is stationed above the free throw line. And Tobias Harris just gets a look what I found dunk out of it. Again, nice reactive spin here, wielding off Marcus Smart. But, like, this is literally the moment he looks up. It's like, oh, and Brogdon isn't all the way over yet. Big fella up here. Hi, Jaylen Brown. Grant Williams isn't helping too much. That's just easy.
No, it's a fair point. And I think that's part of the reason why you move bigs around. You just try and put them in different help positions, different help points to where, okay, this isn't automatic for you. Mm-hmm. You think Marcus Smart and them are good. I got a second. Let me get out. Oh, wait, no, I don't.
My bad, OG. All right, next one, 3:10 left in the first quarter. We're going to get a James Harden floater on this possession I think we're about to approach it now. Jaylen Brown on James Harden once again. Grant Williams said, I'll take this dance. James Harden says, gladly. Soft floater over Robert Williams.
Again, the setup, lull to sleep. He's always looking at the feet. So when he's doing all these dribble moves, he's trying to get you off balance. So there's the switch. Grant wants it. We saw last time he was able to contain and slide after the drive. Here we go. James goes to dribble moves. 1-2. Sees the feet reacting. I see you. You're off balance. Get you with one more. Now you're dancing. I got one more. Boom. He's by Grant.
That is not the position you want to be in as a defender against James Harden. Just want to very briefly point out that is not the stance you would like there. Where you going, big fella? Hi, big fella. Goodbye, big fella. And that's a bucket. James Harden's so smooth, man.
Yeah, he's got to get more credit for this, the way that he sets those baskets up.
Mm-hmm. He's insane. All right, 2:10 left in the first. This is going to be a miss from James Harden. But again, early pick and roll, you see Jalen McDaniels already starting to play with the angle of the screen here. Releases. Pull up three for James Harden. Couldn't get it to go. Big board from Robert Williams. Anything here, or do you want to move?
Not just we can move. Good defense from Boston. Again, we've seen what they were trying to do. Keep the drop back, fight over the top, try and take away the space. He went right to his pull-up, but Brogdon fought over. It's good stuff. Hey, man.
It's Grant
Hey, buddy.
Williams once again by 1:15 left in the first quarter on this one. Here's a switch. And this is where Boston says, absolutely not. Hey, man, no. And that leaves George Niang wide open, and he cashes the three.
Now, if you go back, number one, the fact that Grant Williams is in switch and double for Boston is not good. But I want you to look at the weak side here. And I thought Philadelphia did a great job being ready for Boston to go to switch and double. So if you keep going, James is pulling out. Mm-hmm. You got B-ball Paul trying to space. Brogdon's going to hit. It's a 2-on-1 right there. Mm-hmm. And as Harden drags this out, and B-ball Paul kind of moves.
The
flash right there holds Jaylen Brown. Once he commits to that, and Rob Will's over here with B-ball Paul, there's no one else over there. That's a wide open lift for Niang. And I thought that the Philadelphia 76ers did a really good job of cutting behind that switch and double to make those 2v1s more impactful. And as Mike notes, Niang did start low. Mm-hmm. So Niang starts near corner adjacent. Mm-hmm. And the combination of that shift, you've let it run. You can see, okay, Brogdon knows, hey, I'm going to double. Rob Will takes B-ball Paul. Brogdon goes. The simultaneous, hey, I'm up here, I'm over here. One person covering both of those spots is going to be tough. Jaylen Brown maybe didn't have to commit as much with Rob Will behind them, but I get it.
Mm-hmm. And there's the jumpy jump. Yep. He's absolutely getting to that ball, of course. That's going to be a bucket from George Niang. All right, this next one is going to be about 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Boston up 36-31. At this point, we're going to get a drive from James Harden. Early drag screen here, engaging. That's just kind of tough. Harden wants to foul. It's going to end up being Boston ball.
Again, the concept from Boston was solid. Take the drop, get the space, trust we can contest. I think it was a point you made in the Brooklyn series about his finishing. Mm-hmm. The issue is he mixed in all the other shots. So it wasn't just him relying on these. So good screen, space is there. Rob Will's containing, keeping everything in front. Boston gets to stay at home. And I guess they like their odds with being able to contest without fouling in the paint. Mm-hmm. The issue is, can you force that to be the shot?
Indeed. And as tremendous as James Harden was in this game, this is where I do have to ding him a little bit. Because it was very much if we slow down the attempt. Like one gets downhill. Robert Williams in this drop. He catches him top foot. Going to go Euro here. Counts him on the lunge. He has him all balanced. If Harden goes right hand here, he probably makes this layup. He's very much going for the foul, though. And so you can see he's going with that left hand. He's going inside hand. He's lunging, trying to get the free throws instead of using the right hand. Because, again, he has Rob Will off balance with his Euro step. Really good screen. Derek White is just not attached at all. It's just a 1v1 here. As soon as he sees that body positioning, he knows he's going to be able to attack that top foot. And I can probably slow it down even a little bit more here. Euro, got him. That is not a position you want to be in as a big man if you're Robert Williams. And he tries to find the arm, tries to find the shoulder. And so that just goes down as a miss at the rim. And I think if James Harden is under control and just tries to go for the bucket here, I think he gets an easy one. I think he won that possession. He overthought it. And this is going to be the last possession of the first quarter. Another James Harden ball screen here. George Niang gets a screener with Robert Williams on him, which is interesting. He's going to pop out here. Behind the back pass, a little low. Got a clean look, just didn't get it to go. End of the clock, a little bit of a scramble. Nice kick from Tyrese Maxey. Tobias Harris couldn't get it to go either. I don't know how you miss there from the corner. Gonna be honest, that's tough to do. But no points on that possession.
Very interesting to see Rob Will come up to the level. Mm. And again, you can see Boston, as the game progressed, trying to search things. So we saw James hit this shot earlier. Rob Will's right there. You got two on the ball. You got George Niang popping. You've got a decision to make on the weak side. Mm-hmm. And this is where, that's Maxey over there, right?
Yeah.
I'm not that old. So this is where you can, if you're Philadelphia, you're going to get this coverage, which I don't know how much they'll sprinkle in. But now, hey, but Do you want to help on Niang or do you want to leave Maxey open? Because
Mhm.
if you keep going, there's 2 on the ball. You see the amount of space that Niang has, and he's popping. And a good release by him. And now,
Derek
as
White
the ball
there.
goes to him, Derek White is in help, but also, hey man, he's stunning. Because what else do you want him to do?
If we go back to the rotation from Derek White, he's stepping up while looking back. He's like, "Hey, wait a minute!" Like he has his head turned here. He's like, "Hey, you going? Am I going? What's happening?" Tyrese
Also,
Maxey is wide open. Also,
if I could be a rude film guy,
Mhm.
Jaylen Brown, you are a tremendous talent. You possess so many gifts.
Mhm.
I'm gonna need you to stop with some of this ball watching. Because Tobias Harris,
my brother, dude. Oh, wait.
buddy,
I don't know if you can do that. I ain't gonna hold you.
friend, pal, he was
Who's
right
that?
next to you, and now he's on the other side.
Who's that creeping down the baseline?
Hey man,
How you get an open shot here, swing here, he underneath the basket? Brother, there is no way that this spacing at the top of at the beginning of this play should lead to 3 different people being open.
and the funny part is, I don't even know what Tobias was doing. That man was like, "Oh, he's coming this way. Well, let me, try and get out the way
Might
real
have
quick."
some. Oh, good Lord. What a time. And again, funny enough, Philly just doesn't get anything out of this. Offensive rebound. Maxey has a floater. Anthony Melton, he's not looking that way, but again, he's open. And Jaylen Brown, he's finally got to the paint, but Tobias Harris is back out here at this point. And there's another great effort from Marcus Smart, though. That's true. If I can highlight one more thing on that play, then we'll slow it down. That's tremendous effort from Marcus Smart. Like, oh, wait, if you're down here, that means I got to get out here. And he busts his tail to get a contest out and does so without fouling. The flyby there is tremendous work. So one more time, then we'll go to the next play that's going to kick off the second quarter. Only going to be 5 reps in the second quarter since James Harden got a little bit of a rest to begin the second. But woo, what an opening quarter for James Harden. Again, only going to be a handful of these in the second. There's about 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Boston is up 10 at this point. So I don't, with where this clip starts, Philly went with Chicago action to start. It did not work. And this is where you see PJ Tucker starting to peter out. And this is just going to flow into a pick and roll here with an empty corner. Robert Williams going to be on a drop. Just kind of leans on him there. Jason Tatum can't fight all the way over. James Harden just takes the space. Nice job stepping up with Robert Williams. Does not matter.
Nah, you nailed that. We've seen this before. Again, this is where the shot making is important. You see what Boston wants to give up. If James Harden is taking it and making it, it's a little tougher to deal with. And that's one of the things in the playoffs. I know everyone loves to say, yeah, we'll live with that. We'll live with that. You can live with it until you can't.
All right. About 4:05 left in the second. Boston up 59-50 at this point. It's going to be a miss from James Harden, but we will roll it. Another high pick and roll. Again, just noting where Paul Reed is when he sets these. We've seen him up here. We've seen him near half court. We've seen him at high of the right wing. Going to be another one. Doesn't really get contact on Malcolm Brogdon. That you don't get a gold star for that. James Harden still is able to fill out Malcolm Brogdon's body, create some space, but Brogdon is still there. Could not get it to go.
And that's good defense from Boston. If you want to go back to the game plan, that's probably what they wanted to do. So I mean, hey, we can talk about B-ball Paul not setting that screen, but Brogdon was like, "Nope, buddy, I'm here. Bye." And now I'm not letting you snake. I'm keeping you here, funneling towards the help. Look at the bodies he sees. And so he's working to get to his step back. But there's not much to go. The roll's not open because of the drop. And, close off that pocket. And now this is the shot you get. This is what Boston's going to try and do, I would imagine, if they stick with the drop. That's what they're looking to accomplish.
Yeah, and just while we're frozen here, Brogdon is here. You got Robert Williams looking at you. Jason Tatum has to buy there. He tried to creep down to the paint. Jaylen Brown's right here. So even if you wanted to make the pass to PJ Tucker, it would be a tough one. Just a literal box of defenders. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Really good contest without fouling here from Malcolm Brogdon. So this one with 3:20 left in the quarter, Boston up 62-50 at this point. Marcus Smart already pointing like, "Hey, I'm sending him down. Get a switch." Jason Tatum here. Not the best screen from Paul Reed, released a little early, but I also want to give the hat tip to Jason Tatum for staying attached and fighting over. Marcus Smart is parked right here. Tobias Harris one pass away sounds good in theory, but if you're all the way out here, it's nothing but a relief pass. And ultimately, you still can't get downhill if you're James Harden. And even if he makes this pass to Tobias Harris, he's not in a threatening position right now. Swing, and now we're going to get another ball screen. 7 on the shot clock at this point, 3:10 left. You can see it up top right corner here. It's a better screen. Oh no. And there's the Anthony Melton.
So if you run that one back, this was part of my issue with Boston's help. And this is really just a miscommunication for the most part between Brogdon and Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So I think on they had that, they kind of came together, but they overcommit on the help. And I was like, why are we selling out so much on the help?
Yep. So just a ghost here from Anthony Melton before this pick and roll. That's where it kind of gets muddied because Malcolm Brogdon gets caught up, and so now Jaylen Brown's like, "Hey, am I still following Paul Reed? Are you just going to switch here? What do I need to do?" So Brogdon gets back out here. Jaylen Brown just kind of stops, and now Malcolm Brogdon's turning around like, "Wait, Jason Tatum might get caught. I can send help."
And this is where you'd love to see a little bit more communication from Rob Will because it looks like he was working towards the drop and then he wasn't. And then everyone was like, wait, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? And Boston has to be a little bit more locked in than that. All three of y'all can't be on different pages.
Y'all need to be in the same book. So again, Brogdon gets caught here when the Anthony Melton ghosts this. I would give him the gold star for that. Paul Reed with a bump. Brogdon's like, wait, what's happening here? Because again, Jaylen Brown initially had Paul Reed here. Oh, that is not the position that you want to be in if you're Jaylen Brown. Robert Williams is quite literally looking at the ball travel. Peter Tucker just chilling here. Like, oh, this is a neat possession.
Standing next to someone hitting a spot-up jumper is a hilarious concept.
Like, brother, the second you see this, go. You're either going to he's gonna get Robert Williams, like, okay, we can't allow this, or he's gonna step up and that's just a bounce pass to you, you go. And then if Marcus Smart drops down, that's a kick to Tobias Harris, you got him scrambling. Not gonna matter because Anthony Melton just could not miss in the first half. But what's up?
Oh, I was gonna say, Greg test by Rob Will. We had a free throw adjacent question in the chat.
Oh, okay. Let me switch back to what we got.
I was gonna read. I can read it.
Oh, what you got? What's up?
So on a scale from a white celebrity, totally unwashed, to a fresh load of laundry, incredibly washed, how washed is PJ Tucker?
I don't know what to do with that. Is the answer just yes? I don't. Hey, man. Because I don't want to say the former. That's just disrespectful. Pete Alonso of the Mets is insane.
I say, you ever have that shirt where it's like, hey, man, is this shirt dirty? Or I think I washed it.
Is it dirty or just dingy?
Is this like it's not washed, but I think it's still clean. I could probably go to the grocery store in this.
I can probably go. I can't do it. Okay, we don't have to spend too much time on this one. This is the play that we broke down last night.
Yeah.
Get the switch from Jaylen Brown. Paul Reed flips the angle. Harden snake. Holds. Fires the dart to Paul Reed. And now we close out the second quarter. It's going to be a miss. Boston's up 2 points at this point, 62-60. With about 50 seconds to go. James Harden's going to miss a step back jumper on this one. Kind of unfair to him. He's getting this ball with 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Great effort from Derek White. Make sure James Harden doesn't get an easy catch and shoot opportunity. Feeds him out. Good contest from Derek White.
contain the drive, stay on the side, navigate, contest. We've seen Boston hit the notes a few times.
Mm-hmm.
It's always interesting to see kind of what they were trying to do. Like I always talk about the why and the what, but it was a sound concept to say, hey, we're going to navigate these screens. We're going to get in your body. We're going to fight over and under. I think the automatic nature of it, combined with Philly's screening, combined with James' shot making, made it really interesting. But we've seen some good reps from Boston within this. It's just a consistency. All right, what's the next one? What we got?
All right. Early third quarter, Boston up 66-63 at this point. This is going to be a quick one. I think this is going to be the Marcus Smart dive play with Jaylen Brown and James Harden once again.
The pressure.
Mm-hmm. Flips it. It's good stuff. Loses it. There's some pressure. And then there's Marcus Smart. Doing a little divey dive for us.
And that's what Boston wanted. Hey, man, here's this space. You want to flip it? That's cool. I'm in your chest. I'm in the body. I'm going to work to get over. We're going to try and take away the pocket as well. So if you keep rolling it, it keeps going. Jaylen Brown's position, keeping it this way. James Harden gets there. He's looking to snake. Guess what that snake does? Al's right there. Helps over there as well. Keep rolling it. Jalen's recovered. Where's the roll? Right next to Al Horford. That's what Boston wants to do.
Mm-hmm. And that's just good ball pressure there from Jaylen Brown. One of the better defensive reps that he had in this game. It wasn't always gravy for him, but hat tip to him.
And salute to Marcus Smart giving the old, hey, man, I can get that.
Little chest slide for posterity's sake, And so now we move. 8:10 left in the third quarter. We are tied at 72 at this point. We're going to get a James Harden versus Marcus Smart rep, which is all of the fun. All of the fun. Again, I will note, look at where Paul Reed is setting the screen. We get another Dwight Freeney-esque spin move from Marcus Smart. Horford holds. Smart gets back. And now we're turning this sucker into a post-up. This is it. Best defensive player, best offensive player, battle it out. That is a tough finish from James Harden.
I like the post-up mix, but again, if you're thinking about Boston's concepts and what they're trying to do, you see Marcus Smart here. Al Horford's in a drop. That spin, if you keep going a little bit, if you hold it right there, what's open? Harden has the space, but the weak side is in early. Paul Reed, because he has to set it so high, is still above the three-point line. So keep going. Harden's options are keep engaging, but again, when is the roll going to be open? You keep going. You keep going. Well,
by the time he turns around, oh, there he is. All right, dude, just go to the dunker spot. That's good defense from Marcus Smart. Yeah. Big body bends, big body buckets.
Big pants.
Big pants. All right, we go. I think this is going to be the next possession for Philadelphia. 7:30 left. They're tied at 74 at this point. We're going to get a Harden bucket. Look at the pickup point here for Marcus Smart. Like, let's make this dude work. And once again, high screen, going double drag. Tyrese Maxey lays the lumber on this one. Shout out Tyrese Maxey for the screen.
Good
a little bit of veer.
Good switches by Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Now what do you got? Hey, Al, what's up?
Come here, bud. Thank you.
And again, it's the shot making and it's the space. It's just the space that James Harden has to operate with here. So this is all good stuff. You let it run. Boston, good job pressuring. Guards are in position. And you got to love the switching from Boston, to be honest with you. Indeed. Boom, I got one. You love Maxey hitting smart.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what it's about right there.
We got another one going right into Veer. I got you. Derek White aware. Marcus Smart calling for it. We're good. PJ Tucker being like, well,
I still got an Al if you need me.
time to sprint into this one. I got your friend.
And go.
And now, again, same concept. PJ gets a good piece of Jaylen Brown. And anytime during these possessions we've seen, if you pause it right there, when James Harden has separation, Like, I mean, this is an extreme example. But when James has separation, now he can really lead the dance. And now he's got Al in space. And so it kind of turns into a late switch. James has already gone up. I think the timing that James had, knowing when his shot was there, and then the fact that he made him, obviously helps. Because we could be flipping to have a day and being like, oh, well, Boston was able to keep everything in front and contest. And, what's up with James Harden's drives?
But instead, we get the shooters bounce. And again, man, Tyrese Maxey, great screen. And then PJ Tucker jetting into this. Look at the contact on Jaylen Brown here. Get set. No. Absolutely not. And then James Harden's able to lead the dance, get into the step back too. That's good stuff. All right, so this is going to be 6:10 left in the third quarter. Philly up 4 at this point. We're going to get a missed pull-up 3 from James Harden. We're going to see how this progresses. Switch.
I think my favorite part of this is James has it. And Tobias is like, hey, I got you. And James is like, absolutely not. You have Marcus Smart. Not you. You don't get out of here. No space.
Hey, you want me to screen? No. No, neighbor, no.
You go over there.
The third point is what kills me, dog. You can see Tobias like, all right, bet, my turn. Here we go. Hey! What are you? What are you doing?
Do you know who's guarding you? If you don't get yourself back to the corner, I need to
read the room. Read the room. Oh, jeez. Anyway, he has Jaylen Brown. We can go full speed on it. Here comes PJ again. Subtle. I hate that James Harden misses the shot here. Because very subtle thing that he does as Jaylen Brown gets ready to funnel into his right hand. Just a little bit of a juke, a little bit of a jab to get Jaylen Brown off balance and force him to actually have to navigate this screen. So he's getting ready to jump. He fakes right there. And that freezes Jaylen Brown just enough to where PJ Tucker can now set the screen. Oh, where are you going? Hello, friend. Nice to see you again. And once again, James Harden able to lead the dance as Jaylen Brown's trying to recover here. And he just flows right into this. Like, that's a practice shot for James Harden. And that starts from the work that he does. I can slow it down a little bit more here as he gets ready. Jaylen Brown, again, prepping to send James Harden towards that right hand. And just a little bit, gonna get you here. Gonna get you there. We're gonna freeze you. Jaylen Brown's turning his head before he's turning his body. Like, oh! And there's PJ Tucker. Oh! And that's face. That's good stuff. Ooh-wee. So didn't make the shot, but that's good prep work before going into the action from James Harden. And so now we're going to get 5:46 left in the third quarter. Philly up 1 at this point. Look at where Paul Reed is stationing. He's getting ready to set the screen already. Jaylen Brown has the matchup here. A little bit of cross matching going on for Boston. Doesn't actually hit the screen, so Paul Reed got to do a little bit better there. Strong drive. Gets hit, draws a foul. Still had a lot of runway.
Marcus Smart said, absolutely not. I'm not. I got you. We're good here. Now, this is tricky because Al's helping. He's helping off PJ Tucker. He's in position. But again, this is where James used a little bit of that burst and was able to get downhill and draw a foul.
And he just said, I'm going to beat you. That's funny. That's such a – you ever play 2K, you double tap circle? PS5, and instead of the screen, it's just the shove. That is literally what Paul Reed is doing here. And Marcus Smart just jumps in front of him, like, just hits the arm. That's quality stuff. If you thought we weren't going to get a 2K reference out of this, buddy, you were sorely mistaken.
No, I got you. I got him. Yeah. Here we go. About to lay the wood.
This man is actually blocking. That is not a screen.
That makes sense. Excuse me.
Starting at left guard for the Philadelphia Eagles. Paul Reed.
I'll take that space right there. Thanks, Paul. That man rolled defeated.
There's the foul. Oh, goodness.
That man said, dang.
Okay, so the next 3 plays here, just to give you the early heads up, these are going to be 3 misses from James Harden. This is 4:35 left. And I think Steve and I talked about this during the watch party at this portion of the game, where it felt like Philadelphia's pace just kind of went. The tempo just kind of went. This is the portion of the game where they really just slowed things down. We get a catch and hold. There's 10 on the shot clock already. Harden spins into it. Good screen from Paul Reed. Gets him on the hip, but Jaylen Brown able to recover here.
That's great effort from Jaylen Brown. The only thing I would point out is the danger. If there's any young point guards ever listening to any of this, if you snake your pick and roll, you are taking this play away. Because right here, you keep going. As soon as he comes off, you have the space here. You got B-ball Paul rolling towards 2. Once you come across, guess whose role is cooked?
B-ball
Paul's. Because Robert Williams doesn't have to engage. So he's staying at home. Jaylen Brown's effort really pays off. Now he's able to contest one-on-one, and they're good to go. And again, that's why you play drop. Everyone else got to show early help, but they got to stay at home. And I think that's the battle Boston has to try and win.
That's good effort. And so let me go full speed once again. This one's going to be with 3:43 left in the third quarter. Hey, Sam. How you doing, friend? James Harden frustrated with someone. Like, brother, move. Tries to attack that top foot. Tries to lull. Get to the step back. Could not get it to go.
Now roll it back real quick. And we're going to give a hat tip to you, and we're going to give a hat tip to Sam Hauser. So keep it going. They get this switch.
He is upset.
Yeah, he's not happy. But hey, we get the switch. We're good. Now, notice who is on the weak side, as I think Melton's clear. It's Marcus Smart. And I think part of this may be personnel. Part of it may just be the side of the floor. But Sam is keeping him towards the rest of the help. And so Marcus is showing his body early. Sam is sitting on the left. He's only given the right. He has help behind him. So again, all he has to do is keep him in front and contest. And I think that's where I will give my hat tip to Sam. He has the knowledge base to know, okay, this is the job that I have to do in this scenario. And, as opposed to Grant Williams, who started doing the salsa, Sam was like, hey, man.
I like to cha-cha.
Hey, man, cool stuff there. Look, you're going that way.
And so I think it's going to be the last play we have in the third quarter. Philadelphia is up 2 at this point, 83-81, 2:30 left. This is going to be another misstep back from James Harden. That's good screen navigation there from Jaylen Brown. Stays attached. Tempo. Physicality there from Malcolm Brogdon. Not going to allow George Niang to go to that ghost screen. And that allows Jaylen Brown a little hook of the arm there, a little physicality, but that's just a clean switch now. And you peep the clock. 3 seconds left on the shot clock by the time James Harden even begins his dance here.
Malcolm Brogdon said, I'm familiar with your game.
He falls it here. 15. There's 15 on the clock at this point. What exactly is James waiting on here? Because at this point, like, Paul Reed is there. Like, hey, big dog, I'll set the screen if you want. I'm here. All right, fine. Off-ball action here. Nothing. Anthony Melton pointing. Here comes George Niang. And again, Malcolm Brogdon getting in front of George Niang's path here. Honestly, if this was a tighter whistle, that probably would have been a foul. But it wasn't. Refs let him play for most of the night here. Clean switch. And again, 3 on the shot clock. By the time James Harden even gets into the rhythm dribbles, a little swipe from Malcolm Brogdon, and not going to go. And with that, we can now go into the final, 10. We're in the fourth quarter, folks. 9:03 left in this game. Boston up 5, 96-91. We're going to get a Harden bucket here. Jalen McDaniels, once again, being used as a screener. Probably doesn't hold that screen enough. James Harden catches Malcolm Brogdon off bounces, gets the step back to go.
Now, if you run it back real quick, one thing you'll note in the clips we saw before, Boston was being very physical, doing a good job navigating the screen, keeping on the side. Again, James gets space. He can now lead the dance. And now you notice James, get off me. let me try and get a little bit of space here to get back to my step back. And now you can see him kind of data collecting, setting up those moves, setting up those shots. So cool. I know you're going to stay right here. Let me give you a little bit of burst. Let me give you a little bit of contact. I got a little bit of space and get right to my shot.
And we are good in the neighborhood.
Call that
next trip down. All right. Next trip down. 8:32 left in the fourth. Boston up 2 at this point. We are going to get a James Harden turnover. The screen just loses it. Good hustle from Marcus Smart, and he is hype.
He loses it, but where is the opening on the roll? They miss Joel Embiid. PJ Tucker comes up the screen, mad because maybe he
said, "Fine, I'll do it."
Drop. Horford's containing, and this is a great read by Marcus Smart. It's almost like a late switch, but he's sitting on it. If you look back, we've seen Boston's wings and guards fight over and contain and work to see this pocket. He funnels them right to Horford. It's because of the extra help that he has from Brogdon, from Brown, the bodies. He's already releasing.
Bounces right out there. That's good stuff. So one more time on this one. Boom. Fights to get back into it. James Harden, you can tell he feels him and sees where Marcus Smart is. But you can just watch Marcus Smart. As soon as James Harden's gathering, he's starting to bounce back towards PJ Tucker. He knows this pass is coming. Moving backwards in tandem with this gather from James Harden. And he just high points it. Back to the washed free throw question that we got. Just out jumps him. And there's the hustle. That's good stuff. That's quality content right there. Also, the fact that we are 28 pick and rolls in from James Harden, that's the first turnover that we see, is the underrated part of the performance from him. Naturally, no Embiid, he had the ball a lot. Pretty efficient outing for him. Not just with scoring, but in terms of taking care of the ball. So I just want to give James Harden a hat tip. Next one, 7:10 left in the fourth. We're tied at 96 here. Before this Harden pick and roll, Tyrese Maxey took a pull-up 3 against drop and miss. Philly got a offensive rebound, so that's why there's already 9 seconds on the clock. It's a short clock here. Very high pick and roll. Doesn't get enough of Marcus Smart. Got to be a better screen there from Jalen McDaniels. But good Lord.
So what do you think is more annoying this Marcus Smart? The fact that James Harden pushed him off, or the fact that James Harden pushed him off and then made the shot?
Yes. A little bit of an angle.
Marine! Yeah, you see it.
Okay, so now that I'm looking at the screen a little bit closely, what exactly was Jalen McDaniels trying to accomplish here? Let me slow this down so you can see.
He's trying to flip.
He did, but he got there. Look at his lean, though. Shoulder lean. That is not screening position. My brother in hoop.
What is that? Shoulder lean in this.
Look at this. We got the super slow-mo speed right here. So he comes up here, flips the angle. This is consistent with what Philadelphia's been doing all game, especially with these high pick and rolls. He stops here, which is a problem.
He good?
And then he just,
Couldn't move his feet no more, man. Didn't want to get the legal screen.
Man. You ain't wrong, but good Lord, James Harden got that man out of here. Let me hit you with a stiff arm right quick. Look, just the and then subtle. Get out of the way, brother. That is not a position you want to find yourself in as a defender. That's kind of tough.
That's got to be frustrating to show your hands and just get hit in the chest. And he's like, hey, man, what you want me to do?
Like, Marcus Smart actually did the meme in here. Hey, oh, hey. Look at the space that James Harden is like, cool, a 3, that's neat.
Oh.
And just like that, another bucket for James Harden. Good Lord. So we fast forward a little bit later in the fourth quarter. 6:05 left in the fourth. Boston up 100-99 at this point. Yet another high step-up screen. Al Horford in a drop. Marcus Smart spins under once again. This is the Tyrese Maxey, go get it. Nah, you got it, big
Man.
dog.
Why can't Tyrese know the plays for him? Man, James said, "Yo, all right, let me get this pop real quick. Tyrese, you come to the work." And Tyrese said, "Nah, man, you are cooking."
Oh, geez. Another spin. Horford in the drop, but he holds, gives Marcus Smart time. Like, all right, bet. Hey, Tyrese, let's go. No, go ahead. Like, huh?
That man back
All
up
right,
to nowhere.
you go. And again, like we talked about last night, because this is another play that we broke down live during the watch party last night. Jaylen Brown, he's chewing up space as James Harden comes up to this one. So Marcus Smart going to call the switch. Jaylen Brown doesn't move yet. He should be closing in this space right now. But instead, he waits until now as James Harden is starting to hop back. And so now as he goes to this handoff, he then lunges to try to stay attached or try to get a hand on his ball. He doesn't. And that throws him behind the play, throws him off balance. Harden like, move. Woo! Where you going, big fella? PJ Tucker steps in. Hey, friend. That's going to be another 3 for James Harden. Nasty stuff. You got to do your homework early defensively, especially with a guy that's cooking like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we move a little bit later in the fourth. 5:20 left. We're tied at 102 at this point. This is going to be a James Harden miss. Just I'll take that. Pick and roll against Malcolm Brogdon. Solid screen. Horford getting up to the 3-point line and a drop a little bit higher. Harden goes pull up. Not going to get it to go.
It's a good mix of an under by Brogdon.
Mm-hmm.
I think James Harden was anticipating. They've been fighting over. The drop had been there. Got the screen right here. We're good. We set up this pull up real quick. Al's back. Hey, man. I'm here.
Hey, bud. Nice to see you again. Hope he didn't think you were getting one of those open shots. Wouldn't want to send the wrong message here. And then there's fast break bucket. So after that, 4:27 left in the fourth at this point. Boston up 107-104. James Harden going to bring it up. I think this is going to be a Tobias Harris 3. Again, look at where the screens are being set at half court. They are trying their best to give James Harden a runway that has been a very consistent theme of this game and the pick and rolls that James Harden ran in game one. We get Jason Tatum on him this time. Al Horford's on Tobias Harris, so Tobias Harris naturally becomes the screener.
And now this is, if you hold it there,
mm-hmm.
Couple things to point out here. Al is a lot closer to the level of the screen. It looks like he may be working the switch.
Mm-hmm.
The beauty of what Tobias Harris did and what Melton did, if you run it back a little bit further.
Mm-hmm.
So Melton right here, you got 3 on that side. Mm-hmm. James Harden calls for Melton to cut.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's going to empty out both wings, more importantly, that right wing.
Mm-hmm.
Tobias sets this at a flat angle. So he's kind of leaning towards that left hand, but James really could go either way. Mm-hmm. Al doesn't have a side that he's chosen. Mm-hmm. So now James gets here left, and again, the space between him and Tatum. Mm-hmm. Al's like, oh boy, I need to help. Now again, this is the thing with Boston being smaller down there. Now again, I think he probably could have trusted Marcus Smart to pull over and Jaylen Brown to sink in and force that to PJ. Mm-hmm. But because of the way James was playing, Al pulls down. There's no help on that right wing anymore because Melton moved to the corner. Mm-hmm. That's wide open.
And we talk about floor balance as it pertains to like transition defense or just generally where you're spacing it and how that aids in your transition defense. Buddy, we got 5 Celtics below the dotted line on this pass to Tobias Harris. Tatum's out of bounds. He had James Harden here. Al Horford is lunging. He's getting ready to run a track meet. Malcolm Brogdon's back here. That is a practice shot for Tobias Harris. And a big shot for Tobias Harris. So now 3:50 left in the fourth quarter. Boston's up 108-107 now. And we're going to get, I think this is an offensive foul from James Harden on this play. So Melton's going to bring it up. Brogdon has the assignment once again. Brogdon going to try to fight over this time. Again, Al Horford in a drop, but a little bit higher than he had been playing it earlier in the game. So, for the whole, where the adjustments from Joe Mazzulla, et cetera, like he did do something different.
And dropped a late switch.
Mm-hmm.
That's good recognition by both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So Al contains the drive, Bogdan peels back to the pop, and then Al does his thing to get James to hit him.
Indeed, that off arm became a bit of a weapon for James Harden. We saw him make some shots early in the corner. Based on that stuff, the refs ding him on that one. Really good job by PJ Tucker on the screen. That allows that to turn into a late switch. And whoop. Can't do that. And that is going to be a foul.
If I get a marker, I'm actually going to mark my computer.
Like,
you see right here? Oh,
oh no. Well, friends, we have reached the final 3 clips of the breakdown. 3:10 left in the fourth. Boston up 4 at this point. We're going to get a drive from James Harden. Paul Reed sets another high screen. A switch. Here comes Tyrese Maxey to get Malcolm Brogdon into the action. Didn't work. Harden's like, fine, I'll go.
Now, bring that back. This
All right.
is good late help, but conceptually, I want y'all to see what Philadelphia did. So keep running it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, whatever, matchup, we're out. Look at who is on these 2 wings if you pause it right here.
Mm-hmm.
Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey. Now, run it back, run it over a little bit.
Okay.
And pause it. Look at where the help is from Boston. Mm-hmm. Marcus Smart in at the box. Al Horford in at the box. Everyone likes to say boxes and elbows. Jaylen Brown, a little bit closer to that 3-point line, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm Brogdon, a little bit closer to that 3-point line, eh? Mm-hmm. So if you keep going, James Harden sees the space. Now he's just lulling, trying to find, how do I get to this left? Mm-hmm. How do I get to this gap right here? So you keep it rolling. Okay, I'm there. And this is where, keep going. Good stuff by Marcus Smart to pull over early. Mm-hmm. But Al Horford being in early, hey man, I'm just playing for the contest. That's good stuff by both him and Tatum.
Really good stuff, and good call by you on the spacing front. This is why, again, Steve Jones Jr., excellent at what he does, folks. Respect that, man.
Yeah, Drum, what up, dog?
I was not expecting that one. You got it. So second to last clip, 1:10 left in the fourth quarter. Boston up 3 at this point, 113 to 110. This is going to be one of the underrated Paul Reed plays. He's going to end up drawing a foul on this one. Here's PJ Tucker setting the screen. Got Marcus Smart into the action. Here comes Paul Reed once again. That is a whole lot of space for Paul Reed to roll into. You see where Maxey is spaced. PJ Tucker's in the Duncan spot. Tobias Harris deep in the corner here. It's 2-on-2, but it's high. It is high.
Now, this is a culmination of a lot of what we've been watching, Nekias. And you pointed out a whole bunch of it. If you run it back, we just talked about the spacing. We've seen Al come higher in pick and roll. Because Al points to Marcus Smart to switch. And, run that back. This is my favorite thing. Playoff, matching, matchup-wise. Everyone's trying to scram switch. Hey, Marcus, you go up there. Okay, cool. Bet, I got you. Keep rolling it. I got you. We're going to switch. We're good. Offense is saying, nope. You still have to guard, buddy.
No, you ain't.
So now Al has to get back in it. And if you hold right there, again, to Nekias' point, look at where Tyrese Maxey is spaced. He's in the corner. Tobias is in the other corner. Look at what Nekias said with that space right there. There's no one there. And if Al's going to be that high in pick and roll, as opposed to earlier when Boston was in a drop and they were playing for that pocket, James Harden can now get back to his automatic. So if you let it run, Al's at the level. Pause. One dribble what? One dribble pocket pass. Mm-hmm. There's no one in. Brogdon is kind of in help position. Tatum's the only low man. But if you let it keep running, Tatum has to now step up. You know? And that's, again, a way for, with these kind of smaller lineups, trying to manipulate some things and make the help be, It's still size, but it's not their bigs.
Mm-hmm. That's good stuff. And now we get to the fun part, folks. It is James Harden game winner time. Boston up 1 at this point, 115 to 114. Look at where PJ Tucker is setting this one. Flipped it.
Wait, before you keep going, can we rewind real quick and just give PJ Tucker some love here?
Sure.
Just very, very, very small stuff. So he's up there, and he's like, well, you know what? Let me back it up. Flip it and reverse it. So you can keep going. Mm-hmm. Nope. Flip. We got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. So he's like, oh, wait, not now. Wait for it. Oh, he getting in position, huh?
Yeah, you think we good? You think it's sweet, huh?
Yeah, go back the other way, bud. Yeah, buddy. RKO out of nowhere. Bow. He spins under. Harden drags it out. PJ gets him here.
Hey, right, and this is a subtle thing. So everyone wants to talk about switch and double. Mm-hmm. Marcus Smart's the king of it. PJ says, I'm getting out immediately. You got to come down here with me. And again, look at the space that he sees. At left wing is pretty open. Tyrese Maxey's space on the right wing. But hey, that's a good help position. They're in early. Now he's going to work. Keep going.
Pop. Comfort.
Ooh.
That's just tough.
It's good D.
That's tough. That's tough. Also, he gets the switch here. I just want to laugh at Marcus Smart literally pushing Jaylen Brown to be in a better position here. It's not going to affect the play. Like, brother, move! What are you? He's still talking to him. What you doing?
Now, wait. Back it up, actually. Okay. We're going to go super nerdy on this last one, right?
Okay.
Keep going. Go back to that switch. I want to see if you can get back there to that switch. Keep going.
All right.
I want to see if Marcus Smart was trying to double. And then he just went with PJ. So they do the switch. Mm-hmm. Al's there. Marcus, first off, didn't really want to switch. Mm-hmm. And so it looks like he's looking. Like he feels like he wants to hit right there, but he doesn't. Mm-hmm. And then I wonder if he's pushing Jaylen Brown so he can rotate out if Brogdon goes.
That makes sense. And also, I'm glad you pointed that out because if we can roll it back a little bit here. So we get the switch. Because as Marcus Smart is backpedaling with PJ Tucker, it looks like he is looking at Joe Mazzulla. If we can pinpoint him real quick. So he's looking here. It's like he's looking for the call here. Like, hey, do you want me to go? Are you going to send Malcolm to go? And then I need to communicate with Jaylen Brown. And then you can see the hands up for Joe Mazzulla. Like, nah, just stay. Is what it looks like he's communicating.
Good eye.
And so that may have just been the Mazzulla call. Like, nah, just let him go. We trust Al here. And again, the push from Marcus Smart is just funny. Get out there. And there's Mazzulla again. I don't know what he's communicating on that in this case, but yeah.
Do better.
That's just please. They're gonna talk about my adjustments if you don't. That's just nasty from James Harden.
Man, that's woo. Cooking.
What a time. Friends, we just went through 36 clips of James Harden. And I had a lot of fun doing it.
Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sure we'll do some more of this stuff.